Alright, it is June 4th, Tuesday, and on Android side, the update's still not there. Well, you know what? This limited time series ain't waiting for no one, so I'll run through this on my iOS then, and do this quick, hopefully it'll be a quick one, series overview for the first one of the 4 limited time series available in the new version 7.3.6. So hopefully we all get it at some point, right? So it's for Lancia LC2, and by completing the series, as always, you win the car, and we'll get 140 gold to, help out along the way to upgrade the car to the required PR, which is 97.1. So, let's see. The cost of the car is, it's a 900 gold worth, and then we got 140 reward that we get. So my anticipation here for the cost to bring the car's PR up to the 97.1 is gonna be around 520 gold. So let's check in and find out, shall we? Alright, earn a 1984 Lancia LC2 by 100% completing this special limited time series. Though it only raced for a short time, Lancia proved with its LC2 that they were capable of being a true rival to Porsche on the track. Alright, so here's the breakdown of the 140 gold in 25% completion increment. I doubt that we'll be able to collect any of the gold without any gold upgrades, and even the cheapest gold upgrade on this car will cost more than 20 gold. I'm pretty sure. So, anyway, this is how it looks. So let's, I'll use the gold here to get it done right away. And find out where that lands me. So, yeah, it was like we had 10 days to run. Now it's down to 9 days, I think. Well, not quite 100% 9 days, but yeah. Update's still not there on Android. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, it of course unlocks the series the cars featured in, and under motorsports section, endurance prototypes, Group C 1984 season. So it's gonna be a single car series. Base PR 82.5, and let's go to the final tier, the final cup race, which is gonna be at Silverstone Grand Prix, 3-lapper, so not terribly long, and it is 97.1. So that is nearly 15 PR point that we're gonna need. So I'm anticipating 3 upgrades across the board once again should do the job. So let's confirm, shall we? So we got the 12-hour R&D wait time on the first tier upgrades. So here, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna do calculations as we go. So the first tier cash upgrade for engine is that 132,800, and for drivetrain it is 123,600. Alright, and then for body we're gonna need 98,200. Alright, and the suspension, by the way, with these first round of cash upgrades, I'm expecting the PR will go up to about 87, 88 range. So we'll see if that's where we end up. And then the suspension 113,300. And then exhaust 112,000. Even. Alright. And the brakes will cost 86,600. And then finally, tires and wheels 104,000. Alright, so of course I used cash this time instead of using gold to upgrade right away. I'll use gold here. So we're starting at 82.5 is the base PR, and then we're gonna go, now I'll use the gold to get it done right away, and it does get up to 87.3, so that's not bad. So we started at what, 82.5, and now we just ended up on 87.3. All right, that's not bad. All right, so now the important part, right? The gold upgrades. Let's check in and find out. I have a feeling all the second tier upgrades are going to be gold. That's been the trend, right? So all right, here we go. By the way, first round cash upgrades, if you're interested, the racing dollar cost total is 770,500. Yes, I'm using a spreadsheet here, like a total nerd. So anyway, and then it does unlock the third tier racing dollar upgrade, which is going to take a day for delivery, but we'll worry about that afterwards. So, and then 85 for the second tier drivetrain, and then the body is gonna be 65, and that unlocks the next tier racing dollar upgrade. Let's check out suspension. 80 for suspension, so that's already up to 320 gold. And then suspension is going to be 75. Alright, is that going to be near 520? That was my prediction, right? And 60 for brakes. Alright, we're getting pretty darn close. We're up to 455 gold. And finally, tires and wheels, there's 70. So what does that total up to be? 525 gold. So I was off by 5 gold. Not in our favor though. But anyway, so yeah, so you can kind of tell how much with these new cars, it doesn't really apply on the formula that I'm using doesn't really apply on the older cars, but the new ones that they bring out, formula seems to be that you add up the car's actual cost plus the limited time series reward, the gold reward, and you divide that in half, and generally you get pretty darn close to the what would you call it, the upgrade cost to bring the PR up to what they require. So anyway, so that is yeah, that is about 5 PR point boost, isn't it? Now from 87.3 to 92.2. So alright, and then I'm expecting that this third tier upgrade should bring our PR up to 97.1. So here we go, 298,900 racing dollars for engine. It's gonna take a day. And for drivetrain, we got 278,100 racing dollars. And the body is gonna be another 220,900 racing dollars. Moving on to suspension. Maxing out suspension here, 254,900 racing dollars. Exhaust, 252,100 racing dollars. So they're all in 200,000 range for these racing dollar upgrades. Except brakes, of course, 194,900 for brakes. always the cheapest one. And finally, tires and wheels, 233,900. Okay, so that is total of just the third tier racing dollar upgrades alone costs us 1,733,700 racing dollars, right? But you know, if you're counting. So, but here's the important part, right? Let's see if this brings our PR up to 97.1. 133 gold. Here we go. And keep going, keep going. Yep. There you have it. 97.1. Exactly. So this car gold cost is going to be 525 gold to bring the PR up to the requirement, 97.1. And the racing dollar cost is going to be 2,504,200 racing dollars. So, you know, it's one of the more expensive cars in the game, but then again, we're talking top tier PR as well, 97.1. That's pretty high up there. So, let's run through just quickly the series overview here. By the way, this car is featured in its own what do you call it? The motorsports, right? The endurance prototypes. So for completing that series, you will need to bring the PR up a little bit higher. You do need to bring it up to 99.6. So let's see, what's the maximum this guy goes? 101.7. So in order to bring it up to 99.6, you're gonna need a few more upgrades, and the reward that you get for 100% completion is 75 gold in that series. But obviously you don't have to get full 100% completion, right? So something to keep in mind. Anyway, moving on to let's see, the tier breakdown, right? So tier 1 should be pretty easy. You're, you know, running in good brand new condition of the car. Get those first tier racing dollar upgrades on right away. They do take 12 hours unless you want to spend gold on those, but you know, my recommendation is no. If you can help it, right? Get started early, then you don't have to even watch ads to cut down on the time that it takes. So you got, you know, as I said, now like 9 days still left to go, so just pace yourself, you know. Alright, so tier 1 autocross at Silverstone Bridge Grand Prix, head to head at Hockenheim Short. Is it going to be a single lapper? Wow, it is. That's going to be a pretty quick one. And tier 1 Cup race, I'm expecting a single lapper at Dubai Grand Prix. Yep, it is. And no PR requirement for tier 1, of course. But as soon as you get to tier 2, it is going to have a PR requirement for that last Cup race at Catalunya GP. But before, we got a elimination at Hong Kong, Hunter at Nürburgring Mühlenbachschleife, and that's a very short track, isn't it? Was the short one? Yeah, so it's kind of similar format. Although elimination, if you play the blockade at Hong Kong, it's a pretty narrow circuit, so maybe you can pull it off. Then you can kind of minimize the amount of service bars that you're gonna be losing by compared to, say, running just a regular elimination series where you race, right? So yeah, we'll see. And then Cup at Catalunya GP, single lapper, and the PR requirement is 85.3. So obviously you're gonna need at least few racing dollar upgrades to get your PR up to qualify to race in that race. Tier 3, we got endurance at Mazda Raceway, speed snap at New York, and Cup is going to be a Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix circuit, single lapper with the PR requirement of 86.4. Alright, so let's see. Tier 4 is the important one, and I have a feeling it's going to be just beyond what we can get with the racing dollar upgrades alone, which was remember 87.3 is how far we got with the racing dollar upgrades alone. So let's check into that first. It's gonna be like 87.5. Is it? Yup. So yeah, and as you saw, the cheapest gold upgrade was for brakes, and that was 60 gold. So, and the 25% completion, by completing this tier you get 20. So it's, yeah, if you're in it to win it. But yeah, so tier 4 cup races, a single lapper mount panorama with the PR requirement of 87.5. So alright, then we got also have the speed record at Monza Junior course, and we got a drag race. It's a drag race, so you know, enough said, right? Okay, tier 5 elimination at another very narrow circuit, dynamic circuit of Porsche test track. So if you can help it, if you're trying to run the car in green, as in non-critical condition, then you know it may be worthwhile, so you don't have to spend as much time watching ads to cut down on the service time, right? By the way, it's 3-hour service time on this car, so that is what, 6 ads. So anyway, we got autocross at Suzuka East, and we got a Berlin circuit cup race. This has to be a 3-lapper. I really like that track. It's pretty cool. PR requirement is 88.6. So of course by this point you will have your second tier, well, first tier upgrades has to be all done. Then you would most likely get all the second and third tier, well, get all the gold upgrades right away, which is second tier, right? And then get started on that third tier upgrades, which will bring your PR up. So your PR should be like 92.2, right? And that should take us all the way through tier 10, and I believe that's where we get stuck. So you know, in the meanwhile, we get the 50%. We can claim the 50% completion reward as well, which was what, 30 gold, right? All right, so we got tier 6 endurance at Bugatti circuit. Nice, another nice new circuit. Speed snap at Red Bull Ring National Circuit, and the cup is at Spa. Is that going to be a single lapper? Yep. So still going with the you know, relatively quick pace on these cup races, I think. PR requirement is 89.7, as you can see. All right, tier 7, we got a speed record at Brands Hatch, head to head at Daytona Road Course. Most likely a rolling start, single lapper, and the cup is going to be at Melbourne, which means it's going to be multiple laps, 3 laps. What's the PR requirement? 90.5. All right, moving on, tier 8. You need 2 gold trophies here to claim that 50% completion reward, assuming you won gold trophy all the way along the way, which is something sometimes I forget. You don't necessarily have to win gold trophy. You, as long as you finish, you know, in top 3, the podium finish, the next tier, you can unlock the next tier, but you know that means you have to come back and redo those races. But you know, if you want to just run through and unlock all of them first, then that's a way to do it as well. Anyway, tier 8, we got a drag race at Porsche Long Road Circuit, and elimination at Brickyard Road Circuit, and the cup is going to be a Suzuka Grand Prix. Now we're getting into a double lapper Grand Prix, as you would expect. We're about halfway through the series, and the PR requirement is 91.3. So we're still good with that second tier upgrades, while waiting on that third tier 1-day racing dollar upgrades. Okay, moving on to tier 9, we got speed snap at Hong Kong, endurance at Monza Road Course, and the cup is going to be at Nürburgring Grand Prix. I'm expecting double lapper on this one as well, with the PR requirement of 92.1. So that is just 0.1 PR point under what you would have with the second tier upgrades while you're waiting. So as I was saying, tier 10 is where you'll get stuck, because that Hockenheim Grand Prix circuit cup race is gonna have higher PR than what you can reach with the second tier gold upgrades. Alright, so tier 10, we got autocross at Catalunya National, speed record at Silverstone National, and a cup, as I was saying, is at Hockenheim Grand Prix 3-lapper with the PR requirement of 93. So at this point, you're gonna need those third tier cash upgrades done, the racing dollar upgrades. And tier 11, we got a head-to-head at Bathurst, single lapper. And Hunter at Club Circuit of the Americas. Alright, and of course you gotta have a Le Mans race. Just a single lapper, but with a PR requirement of 93.8, which is what you're gonna have to get past, of course, to claim the 75% completion reward, which is what you're gonna need a single gold trophy in tier 12. So we got endurance at Dubai National, elimination at the Daytona Motorcycle Course, and cup is gonna be at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix. This is gonna be like what, 4-lapper? Oh, 3-lapper. All right. I said the higher lap count because Red Bull Ring Grand Prix is slightly smaller, slightly shorter than most Grand Prix circuits in the game, I think. What's the PR requirement? 94.7. All right. And tier 13, speed snap at Brands Hatch, head-to-head at Spa, single lapper, and cup at Monza Road Course, 3 laps. All right, and with the PR requirement of 95.5. Moving on, tier 14, speed record at Melbourne, Hunter at Berlin, and the cup is going to be at Mazda Raceway, 4 laps with the PR requirement of 96.3. So far we haven't had any rogue tier where it requires higher PR than the last tier, so that's good. So 97.1 is what we're gonna need. Once again, we can confirm. All right, final tier, tier 15, we got autocross at Dubai Autodrome International Circuit, and endurance and Hockenheim National, and the cup, as I said earlier, Silverstone Grand Prix, 3 laps with the PR requirement of 97.1. So yeah, I didn't really notice any particular event that is going to even require us to service the car. Brands Hatch speed snap can be a little tricky if you're running unserviced. So that one, depending on how much time you're willing to spend to train bots versus, service the car, right? Endurance is rarely a challenge if you win by the small margin of victory. And yeah, so I mean, only concern for having to service the car, if you are just stubborn about not servicing your car, are generally speed events like speed snaps, speed record, and drag race. Anything that has to do with where you cannot overcome opponents by taking corners better, right? Yeah, those events you have to, there's only so much you can do, right? So yeah, drag race at Porsche test track, speed record, we got speed record and speed snap at Brands Hatch, which by the way takes place essentially at the same place, or the longest straight is that final pit straight. So speed record, of course, you have the benefit of being able to turn around at the beginning of the circuit and go past the finish line to extend your straight, so you can get a little bit more out of your car than you might otherwise. But speed snap, you don't have that option, so you're a little bit more stuck. And earlier tiers, generally, because you'll be, I'm assuming, running with more PR than necessary, so you should be okay. But the later tiers, you know, your target is getting higher as well, so getting closer to what the max PR for the LTS can do, right? So yeah, but across the board, I don't see any like impossible goal that you might come across. So fairly straightforward. So there you go. So that does it for this video, and hopefully the Android side, the update, the new version will be available soon, because I already got the first tier upgrades, by the way, started on my other account on my iPad. So yeah, I might start jumping in with the upgrades on already, you know, so that way I don't have to wait. You know, if I can get started early, kind of get a head start on it, hey, I'll do it. Anyway, so we'll see you in the next video, most likely during the Lancia LC2 Championship. So take care and see you on the track.